What's up? This is BoxingWave. I just got home for the Victor Ortiz Louis Collazo card. I had a great time, man. I just want to recap the whole event. It was a great time. All right. I know I was wrong. I picked Victor Ortiz, but yo, you gotta admit, man, Louis Collazo always get robbed, man. And who expected a knockout in this fight? Like seriously, like who expected a knockout? You know, I knew Victor Ortiz. I thought Victor Ortiz was gonna win the fight. I thought they were going to give him the fight. But I knew it was going to be a tough fight. I knew it was going to be close. I mean, if you see my prediction video, I said all of that. I ain't making no excuses or anything. I picked Victor Ortiz. But, yo, man, Louis Collazo knocked him out in the second round. Like, really? Like, who predicted that? You know? But let me tell you about the event, all right? I'm not going to go on too much into the undercard. I believe the fights that were televised was the Gary Russell Jr. fight and up. The few fights before that, you know, I'm not going to talk about those fights. But first of all, Barclays was packed in there, man. It was definitely packed. Gary Russell, a lot of fans, a lot of people in there knew who he was. You could tell, like, a lot of people were cheering for him when he came up. I can't remember which round he knocked the guy out, but the Eddie Gomez fight was good, man. That was a close fight, man. I had it pretty close up into the knockdown. That was a good fight, man. Eddie Gomez had a lot of good supporters in there. You know, I wanted to do a video on him earlier, before I was gonna go to the fight, but I just didn't have enough time. But the Eddie Gomez fight with Daquan Arnett, that was a good fight. Both of these guys were undefeated. It was a good fight, man. You know, it was a very close fight, especially leading up into the knockdown. The knockdown was like in the later rounds, like the 6th round. It was only an 8-round fight, so it was an 8th or 10th round fight. I don't remember, but that fight was good. No, it was an 8th round fight. Now, the Victor Ortiz Louis Collazo, it's like, yo, man, when you go to an event in Brooklyn, they come out, man. They show out. Like, you know, I went to the Zab Judah fight with Paulie Malignaggi, you know, and then you had the fans. You had like a lot of people that was there for Paulie, and then you had a lot of people there for Zab, and then there was a lot of people there that like both of the fighters, like me. You know what I'm saying? So I was just wanting to see a good fight. But you know, I always like Louis Collazo, but you know, I just felt like he just always underachieved. You know, like, you know, he always had to work harder to earn his wins. You know, I think he clearly lost to Shane Mosley, but I thought he beat Berto and I thought he beat Hatton. But you know, I felt like it was just that he just barely didn't do enough for them, the judges, to give him the win. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought he won those fights, but he had to really beat these guys up to get the win, you know what I'm saying? And he never got it. So, in a sense, you would think that he would have to get a knockout. And I said that, like, I didn't say a knockout per se, but you would think that he have to clearly beat Victor Ortiz, because Victor Ortiz has the name. You know, you say his name to people, and you know, people remember him fighting Floyd and stuff like that. So, you know, people remember him being on Dancing with the Stars and stuff like that. But let me tell you, man, you know, going to a boxing event, and we were on a floor. We were like 4 rows behind the ring, away from the ring. All right, Steven Espinoza was sitting right there. You know, I met a lot of people, man. It was great, man. I met Steven Espinoza. I was able to talk to him for a little bit. I met Sam Watson. I didn't really get to talk to him much. I just talked to him for maybe 20 seconds. But my dad got to talk to him. I went to the show with my dad, and I went to the bathroom, and he came back. He was like, "Yeah, I was sitting here talking to Sam Watson. You know, I was trying to tell him about you and how you wanted to meet him." Well, I already had met him, but I didn't really get the chance to talk to him because he was busy doing other things. But you know, I met Steven. We had a little chit chat. That was pretty cool. I met Angel Garcia, you know, but I only got a chance to get a quick picture with him. I didn't really get a chance to talk to him or anything like that. There was a lot of faces there. Paul Pierce, from Boston Celtics was there. I mean, not Boston, from the Nets. I'm not a Paul Pierce fan. All right, Paulie was there. Paulie Malignaggi was there. Bernard Hopkins was there. Peter Quillen was there. Curtis Stevens was there. It's crazy. Like, a lot of these guys were just sitting in the crowd and nobody would notice them. Like, you can just tell who's, like, there's a lot of people that's just casual fans, don't really know who any of these guys are. When you would recognize them, they would just sit in amongst everybody in the crowd or walking past these people and no one would even acknowledge them. It was a lot of people there, man. I can't remember everybody, but I did get to speak to the people I said I spoke to. But anyway, let me tell you something though. It's funny because with the knockout, with Louis Collazo knocking this guy out, you had to be there to really understand that the atmosphere was just, the crowd was cheering. Brooklyn, it's just like, people really came out to support Louis. You know what I'm saying? And it was great to see that, that the place was packed and there weren't any empty seats in there. And there was people that wanted to see Victor Ortiz, of course. But, when he came out and they showed this little preview video, they booed the hell out of him. But then Victor Ortiz, not Victor Ortiz, when Louis Collazo came out, he came out first. They cheered him. It was just right for him to win the way he did tonight. It was a great card. It was good fights. Gary Russell went in there and did his usual thing, thing he always do. Came in there and beat some guy up. The Gomez Arnett fight was really close. I was sitting near Arnett's mother. I believe it was his mother and his sister. And it was like they was calling him by like some nickname like Day Day. Then you hear somebody in the crowd calling him Day Day like in the background. So I don't know if they were relatives or what, but it was funny. Then I was sitting I was behind a group of like old school dudes, and it was just, they had jokes the whole night. Like, it was funny, man. But the atmosphere, the mood was just, it was Louis Collazo's night, man. There's no way you could go in there and, for this particular fight, I never really was a Victor Ortiz fan. USA MVP, my boy that I do my videos with, he is a Victor Ortiz fan, And me used to argue, because I used to kill Victor Ortiz on the phone with him, I know I picked him to fight, but I never liked him. And we used to argue all the time. If you look at my Victor Ortiz versus Carlos Molina, when their fight was supposed to happen, you can see me just slandering him. I never really liked him that much, but I picked him to win the fight. I thought it was going to go to decision. I thought it was going to give him the win because he was the star. Honestly, I'm just being real with you. But USA MVP, check his channel out. He is a diehard fan of this dude, man. And he tweets me right away like, I'm done with Ortiz. But Louis Collazo, always liked Louis Collazo, man. Just thought he, always got the short end of the stick or whatever. And, I'm glad he won tonight, man. Like, I'm really happy for him, man. Like, you could tell, like, this was like his Super Bowl ring to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he always, when it was always a big name, he always fell short. And tonight was like the night, like, he beat a big name. People wanted, I was talking to people there, and it was like, we all felt that way. Victor Ortiz just shouldn't have came back to a fighter like him. Louis Collazo had just coming off a few wins, and he's been active. And you come and fight a guy, you have been inactive for 2 years. You can't fight a guy like that in his hometown. This guy came, this guy works, man. He worked hard. Now, as far as the knockdown itself, the first round, did you guys notice that, I didn't watch it on TV yet, but did you guys notice that Victor Ortiz jumped and did a headbutt thing again? Did you guys see that? Because I saw it in person. Now, I don't know how I showed it on TV, but he did the same thing he did with Floyd, and the ref broke them up. you know, and everybody in the crowd was like, whoa, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's like, yo, he's at it again. And then he looked very frustrated in there, you know. He looked, when he got hit a few times, he hit Collazo a few times, but then he got hit back. And you could tell he looked frustrated in the second round. When he got knocked down, he didn't look like super duper hurt, but at the same time, you knew he wasn't getting back up. Like, the way he was sitting there, he was on his knees, and you just knew he wasn't getting up. Like, I knew it. When he went down, I said to my dad, I was like, he's not getting back up, man. He's not gonna even try. You know, and then when it was all over, I don't know what they showed on TV, but he was going around the ring. He hugged Louis Collazo like 3 times. He went to each corner and jumped on the ropes and raised his arms. And I'm like, yo, is this guy, like, what's wrong with this dude, man? He's always doing something extra. You know, he just lost. He got knocked out. He didn't even get up. He didn't even try to get up. He just stayed there. You know. But I don't want to bash him, you know, because, you know, I mean, you have to have heart to even just go in the ring and come back. I don't know where his future is, but as far as Louis Collazo, 147 is busy right now. You got a lot of guys in. You know, you got a lot of new young cats in there. You got all the older guys. You know, he's gonna give a good fight to anybody. You know, even if he loses, he's always gonna give a good fight to anyone. You know, anyone at a 147. You know, I'm glad he won. I know I didn't pick him, but I'm glad he won. You know, I'm glad he won the fight. It was I had a great time. You know, I took a lot of pictures. You know, my dad took a lot of pictures, man. This guy was talking to all these dudes. Paul Pierce. I would never take a picture with Paul Pierce, man. I'm a Knicks fan. Can't stand Paul Pierce, man. I didn't even say hi, nothing. I just took the picture and walked away. But I'm just joking around, man. No, I'm serious. But anyway, I met a lot of guys, whatever, and I had a good time out there in Brooklyn. But anyway, yo, if you guys, any of you guys that went, I know a few of you guys that subscribed to me, and a few of you guys that's on Twitter said it was gonna go. I didn't meet any of you guys, but I know a few of you said that y'all was going to the fight. Let me know what you think about the fight, and you know, just let me, you guys that stayed home, you know, watch the fight, let me know what you think about the fight. And Victor Ortiz, is he done or not? You know, is he done? And let me know, you know, is it over for him? He's only 26 years old. That's the crazy thing. You know, it's sad. You know, I don't really want him to retire, but 3 losses like this, 3 knockout losses, man, it's not good. And Louis Collazo, like, who do you want to see him fight, you know? Should he fight someone that's winning? Should he fight someone that's coming off of a loss again? You know, you got Devin Alexander out there, he's coming off a loss. Maybe he could get a rematch with Berto, you know, maybe that, you know, maybe fight Zab, you know, do another Brooklyn match, maybe, you know. I don't think Paulie Malignaggi would fight him right now. I think Paulie is looking at bigger, better things. But, you know, let me know what you guys think, and subscribe to the channel, right? Peace.